Hello students, how are you? In the previous video of the natural resources, we discussed about the formation of the cloud, okay? But eventually we were studying about the air, the first natural resource that we were discussing, and I told you about the biosphere also, that the three components, lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and they constitute wherever they are interact with each other, they form the biosphere, that is the living zone. Okay, that the living zone constitute all the living organism. Okay, you know, because all living organism they need soil, okay, as a base, they need air as a very important part because they need oxygen to survive, and they need water for their daily activities. Okay, it depends students, some organism needs lot of air, water, and some need less water. But this about water we will be discussing further when we will discussing about water. The topic that was going was about air. Okay, in the air we talked about components of the air and that all, the blowing of the air, very important, that is sea breeze and the land breeze. Okay. The next topic students that we are going to start is air pollution. Shall we start? Okay, what is air pollution? The presence of harmful substances in the air leads to the pollution of the air. It can severely affect the health of living organisms and the quality of environment. The presence, see what happens, the presence of harmful substance in the air, it leads to the pollution of the air, and it can severely affect the health of living organisms and the quality of environment. Okay, because there are some certain harmful substances that are present in the air, it leads to pollution of the air, and it can severely affect the health of living organisms and the quality of environment. Clear? Now next one is, what causes air pollution? Now first of all, it is written presence of harmful substance. What can be harmful substance? See, anything that causes, you can say, allergy in us, or they have negative effect on our body, these are our harmful substance. For example, dust particle can also be harmful. How? Because they cause allergy in some persons. So it depends on what is the condition is. Okay, so next is, what causes air pollution? You know, we have been studying this since many years now about pollution, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and the reasons and the what are the causes. We have been studying it now quite for a long time, and everyone is familiar with them. Okay, so let's discuss them one by one. What causes air pollution? Burning of fossil fuels. When coal and petroleum are burned, they release sulfur and nitrogen oxides, which are very harmful agents. They also release unburned carbon particles in the air called hydrocarbons. Okay, now fossil fuels, or you can say just fuels are burned. What happened? Like coal, petroleum, they are burned, they release sulfur and nitrogen. Now what happens? These nitrogen and sulfur dioxide, they are oxides, they are very harmful. First, when they react with water, they form highly acidic nitric acid and the sulfuric acid, you all know that, and that leads to the acid rain. Okay, we will be discussing it also. So these are very important. And if they are present in the gaseous form, for example, if they are only present like sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide, then also they are very harmful for human beings if they are inhaled. So they are harmful in both the ways, whether they are present in the gaseous form or whether they mix with the water, because when they will mix with the water, they will form acid rain, and if they are present in the gaseous form, then they can be inhaled by the person, or they can be go inside the nasal tract and cause allergy, or you can say severe problems, because it is very harmful gas. Okay, so first one is burning of fossil fuels. What do they release? They release sulfur and nitrogen oxides, which are harmful agents. Now they also release unburned carbon particles, which are called hydrocarbons. Okay, next cause of air pollution is exhaust from industries. The industries release harmful gases and smoke in the air that contains carbon monoxide and organic compounds that decrease the quality of air. Okay, the industries release harmful gases and smoke in the air that contains carbon monoxide and organic compounds that decrease the quality of air. You know that lot of industries that were around the, if you know, the Taj Mahal region, means around Agra region, that Mathura, they were mostly shut down by the government. By, or they were told to have strict measures to whatever the exhaust they have been releasing, to purify it, so that there are no harmful gases, because it was affecting the Taj Mahal very much. And not only Taj Mahal, see, these things affect the vegetation of a particular area very much. okay, the kind of organism living there, because if the air will be polluted, then it will definitely affect the organism, because each and every living organism inhale the air, okay. So if air is that polluted air is going inside the organism, it will definitely affect his metabolic activities one other than other, okay. For example, respiration can affect cells, cell can be dead, and if cell will be dead, then it will eventually result in onto the organism, okay, because we have studied that hierarchical order: cells form tissues, then organ system, and organism. So whatever the problem takes place at cellular level, it will be visible to us at the organismic level, okay. So that exhaust from the industries, what does it do? It affects the natural vegetation of a place, okay. Third one is the mining. During the mining process, harmful chemicals are released in the air that leads to air pollution. You all know that mining, because a lot of digging is done over there, so because of that, very light particles they are released, okay, and they go on to mix in the air, which leads to the air pollution. Again, they are also very important, very harmful. Why? Because if also they are inhaled, they also causes very serious respiratory diseases, okay. So you might have seen that whenever the workers who are working in the mining industry, they face a lot of problem about this, and they are real prone to the respiratory disease, means they can easily catch that respiratory disease, okay. Next one is the indoor activities. How does the indoor activities causes air pollution? Cleaning agents and the paints used in houses release harmful chemicals which pollute the air. Some cleaning agents and the paints used in houses, they release harmful chemicals which pollute the air, okay. Suspended particulate matter. The particles such as dust often remain suspended in the air and degrade its quality. SPM is one of the major causes of air pollution in the cities. Suspended particulate matter. Suspended means that are present in the air. They keep on suspended means keep on floating in the air, okay, and they are often known as dust particles, smoke particles. These are particles which, and if you know, if they keep on floating in the air, they can easily be inhaled in our nose. They can come in our nose in a contact of our nasal pathway, okay. So they are very harmful. So these were some causes of the air pollution. Now let's see the sources of emission of air pollutants. What are air pollutants? The things which causes air pollution are known as air pollutants, okay. Or similarly, or simply we can say, what are pollutants? The substance which causes the pollution are known as pollutants, okay. So now let's see what are the major causes of air pollutants. Now you can see this pie chart or the pie diagram. If you look at it very clearly, you can see the industry leads by a far big margin, okay. A very heavy margin they lead by, that is 52%, and it's the 52% that is the industry sector causes air pollution, okay. I was telling you that industrial area. So why? Because why it was recommended by the government to use filters or to purify the exhaust, so that they do not cause any type of air pollution. Agriculture sources are 10%, okay. Some of the fertilizers that are used. Transportation, next one is the very important transportation. Burning of fossil fuels or the fuels, petroleum is burnt, we were discussing. So the two main important factors that leads to the air pollution, that are industry and the transportation. If you calculate these two, they alone equals to almost 79% of the total air pollutants, okay. So industry and the transportation. Then next one is the consumer and commercial products. There are certain products, 8%. Then 1%, or you can say other, are 2%. Agriculture is 10%, I told you. And then there is commercial and residential heating, that is 1%, okay. So two things if we control, that is the industrial thing, emission of the exhaust from the industries, okay, or the harmful air that is been emitted from the industries, and the transportation, means if we use very clean fuel like that, and if we properly service our cars, so that's like that all, we can, on a very big level, we can control air pollution, okay. Next one, what are the effects of air pollution? First effect of the air pollution is acid rain, and that I already discussed with you when we were discussing the exhaust emission. I told you that exhaust released is almost sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide. Now what does that sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide do? They react with the water and form sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Now because they are present in the air gases, so when the rain will come down, they will react with water and form these acids, and once these acids are present in the rain, it is known as acid rain. Very harmful for it. Now rain often contains acidic compounds that can affect animals, plants and crops, and also buildings. Okay, this point is also important, that it also affects the buildings. Another effects of the air pollution, second one, harmful diseases and allergies. I told you inhalation of harmful substance can lead to disease such as heart problems, cancer and allergic reaction in the skin and eyes. Okay, sometimes you might have noticed when you go to a very crowded place, irritation in your nose or skin, or you can say eyes occurs. Why it is that? Because the dust particles, smoke particles, when they come in contact, they lead to that allergy, and due to that allergy, that irritation occurs. Okay, sometimes you are going to a very crowded place and you start sneezing. Why? Because of that some dust particles enter in your nose. Third effect of air pollution, it is a decrease in the visibility. Okay, the suspended particles in the air affects the visibility and also leads to the formation of smog in the cold weather. Next one, global warming. The temperature of the earth rises due to the presence of greenhouse gases in it, such as carbon dioxide and methane. Okay, this is also the effect of air pollution. And the next one is ozone layer depletion. The air pollution leads to the depletion of the outer covering of the ozone layer around the earth's atmosphere. Okay, this one is the ozone layer depletion because of harmful substances that are emitted by our cars, refrigerators, ACs, which leads to the ozone layer depletion. I hope you all know ozone is depleting. And what does ozone do? It is very important gas, if you know, because it prevents us from ultraviolet radiations, that is the harmful ultraviolet radiations of the sun, which can cause cancer in the human beings. So it is preventing, and if it is depleting, the main reason is the air pollution. Okay, so these are the effects of air pollution. Now this figure will explain you the formation of acid rain. See, you can see industries are set up, and from industries what is happening, SO2 and NOx. Why NOx is given? There are many types of oxide of nitrogen. Okay, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen, for example, oxide are formed in the industry. Okay, now what happens when the rain will come? This oxide will react with water, and I told you once they react with water, they formed sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and HNO3, that is nitric acid. Again I am saying H2SO4 sulfuric acid and HNO3 nitric acid. And once their amount is present in the rain, or it is present in the large quantity, then that rain is formed to be acid rain. And once that acid rain comes to the ground, it can affect the vegetations, for example animals, plants, living organism that is present in that particular area, and it can also harm the buildings as well. Okay, the very good example you have studied in the previous class 8, that the Taj Mahal. Okay, the corrosion of the marble of Taj Mahal, it is due to the acid rain. The yellowing of marble of the Taj Mahal, it is due to the acid rain. That's why I was saying that the industries near that region either have been shut down, or they have been given strict rules and regulations, so that the emissions, whatever the emissions they are creating, it should be pure. Okay, so this was about air pollution. Okay student, in the next video we will be starting about water. Okay, till then students, you keep studying, and whatever has been told to you, you keep making notes for that. Okay, and stay inside your house, take care of yourselves. Thank you and have a nice day.